Hey, Cancer, you spend so much time holding everyone else, holding their fears, their stories, their sadness, holding the tension in the room so others can breathe easier, holding back your own tears so the people you love don't have to worry. You are the soft landing for so many. But when was the last time someone held you? Not in the way that asks you to perform, not in the way that praises your strength while ignoring your weariness, not in the way that says you're so nurturing but never asks what it's costing you, but truly held you emotionally, energetically, tenderly, in your silence, in your tears, in your softness that's so often misunderstood. Cancer, you deserve to be held too. You are not just the caretaker. You are not just the one who feels deeply, the one who listens, the one who senses things others miss. You are not just the shoulder, the home, the safe space for others. You are a soul that longs for gentleness, a heart that aches to be seen, not for what it does, but for what it is. You are someone who needs two, and that is not weakness. That is truth. You've been told your emotions are too much, that your sensitivity makes things complicated, that your moods are hard to read, hard to handle, hard to hold. So you learned to tuck your feelings away, didn't you? You built walls not because you didn't want love, but because you wanted it so badly and it kept hurting. You put on a smile, you carried on, you created a world where everyone else could fall apart except you, because you're the strong one. But strong doesn't mean invulnerable. Strong doesn't mean silent. Strong doesn't mean selfless to the point of self-erasure. And Cancer, you've erased too much of yourself trying to be what others needed. You've stayed too long in relationships that couldn't love you deeply. You've watered dead plants with your tears hoping they'd bloom again. You've kept quiet when you were breaking just so someone else could feel okay. But who holds you, Cancer? Who holds your sadness? Who cradles your heart? Who listens to your silence and says, I'm here? You don't have to be okay, because you deserve that. Not because you give so much, not because you're good, not because you've earned it, but simply because you exist. You, Cancer, are worthy of being held just as you are. Not when you're useful, not when you're nurturing, not when you're smiling through the pain, but now, here, in this quiet moment of truth. You don't have to keep pretending that you're fine. You don't have to carry it all. You don't have to prove your strength by hiding your hurt. You are allowed to need. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to fall apart, and you will still be loved. I know that's hard to believe, because so often when you've opened your heart, it hasn't been met with the depth you were hoping for. You've been misunderstood. People called you clingy when you just needed closeness. They called you moody when your heart was speaking truths they weren't ready to hear. They pulled away when you needed holding the most. And so little by little, you stopped asking. You started protecting. You started saying, I'm okay, even when you weren't. But I see you, Cancer. I see the way you love with your whole being. I see the way you give without being asked. The way you remember birthdays, inside jokes, the tiny things that make someone feel safe. I see how much you long to be understood how much you hope that someone will just know without you needing to say it. And I know how lonely it feels when no one does. But let me say this: you are not too much. You are not too emotional. You are not complicated. You are a tide that cannot be tamed, and that is a gift, not a flaw. You feel deeply because you were made to love deeply. You carry so much because you know what it's like to feel drop. You nurture others because you wish someone would have nurtured you that way. But now it's your turn to receive, to be held, to be nurtured, not just by someone else, but by yourself. Cancer, it's time to come home, not to the version of you that performs softness for others, but to the version of you that sits with your own heart and says, I see you, I love you, I'm not leaving, because you deserve to be held by you, by the you who knows what hurts and stays anyway, by the you who has cried alone in the bathroom and still showed up, by the you who's been abandoned but never gave up on love. That you, she's ready to be honored now. So take a deep breath. Place your hand over your chest. Feel that steady rhythm. That's your life force. That's your truth. That's your worth. Beating, humming, singing softly. You deserve to be held. You deserve to be held. You deserve to be held. Whisper it back. I do, I do, I do. Let the tears come if they do. Let the walls fall if they're ready. Let yourself feel the longing that's lived beneath your ribs for years. Let it rise. Because that longing, it's sacred. It's your soul calling you back to softness, not just for others, but for yourself. You are not here to carry everyone else. You are not here to mother the world while ignoring your own aching heart. You are allowed to say, hold me. You are allowed to break down and not explain it. You are allowed to be tender and still be safe, because real love doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to be real. And you, Cancer, are real in the most beautiful way. So tonight, let this be your lullaby. I am allowed to need. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to be held. Say it again. Say it until your body believes it. Say it until your soul softens. Say it until you remember that you were never supposed to do this alone, because you weren't. You are the ocean, the moonlight, the memory that lingers in the tide. You are the feeling people can't describe but never forget. You are home, and even homes need to be rebuilt sometime. So rebuild now with gentleness, with truth, with the understanding that you don't have to prove your worth through sacrifice anymore. You are already worthy, already enough, already whole. And the people who are meant to stay, they will stay, not because you hold them, but because you finally allowed yourself to be held too.